And we're back. Sorry about small cat-related incidents, folks, but we should be good to go. So, on the last portion, we transformed into wolves, and we have traveled to the heart of the Vale to make an offering and get something from the heart of the Vale in return. And I'm gonna put a situation in front of all of you, which is there are two sets of foes who have also come to the heart of the Vale. One of them is from the third mountain, and what you realize about them is that they actually do not transform into wolves per se. Naja, you're frowning at me. Is everything okay?
Yeah, sorry, my
Oh,
internet.
okay. I was just like, did you want the third mountain? You folks can be from the third mountaintop. It's cool. Um, so yes, the person from the third mountain is actually a singular individual, and
Oh
their intention
no.
is that they do not themselves touch their rock. They touch a weapon to the rock. So they are wielding a weapon wrapped in bloody silver, which is the color of the moons. It has absorbed their potency, and all of you instinctually know that it is very deadly to all of your forms. So it's a like a. I'm sorry, you've been saying Final Fantasy, so I'm imagining someone with a like a long ponytail flowing in the wind and
I
this
mean, honestly, as
sword.
soon as we're done, I'm not even, it's a problem.
So that's one individual. This person has shown up and actually has a necklace with an array of teeth and claws from previous alignments where they've killed shapeshifters before.
That's rude.
Super rude, right? And the other group that's there is I'm actually going to say it's a family of three. The fifth mountain actually always transforms like people who are a family, and what you've got yourself is like three powerful bears. So you see, they're all black furred, and each one of them has like a white mark, somewhat similar to Kira, but like one of them has it upon their heart, one of them has it upon their brow, one of them has like a set of stars on their flank. So yeah, it's a family of three bears and a dude with a deadly red sword. And all of you sort of spot each other across the veil, but you're not like 5 feet apart. You're like there's bushes and trees and stuff. You kind of lock eyes in that dramatic gunslinger effect kind of thing, and then you disappear into the underbrush as you're headed towards this offering place, which I'm gonna say is it's like a pool or a lake at the very heart of the Vale. And whatever your offering is, you have to place it in the waters, and it gets absorbed, and then you sort of get a King Arthur moment where something comes out of the water and you folks get to keep it. So that's it. How do you folks want to approach this? Do you approach it as a group? Does somebody split off? What's the plan?
Patchouli looks over to Reckoning to see what I forget Reckoning's pronouns.
I guess she, her, because those are mine. And
yeah.
Reckoning doesn't give a shit. They need a good boy.
So Patchouli just looks over at Reckoning to see like what I don't know. She thinks, Patchouli thinks of them or her as our leader maybe in this scenario.
I think so. Reckoning is Reckoning. And Reckoning sits back on her haunches, tilts her muzzle up to the moon, and howls.
So there's a rule.
Yes,
you can't just howl. The rule is when you howl, you have to have something to say because howling is a form of speaking. And anybody that has a feral of 1 or higher, which in this case is only Andy, has to make a roll if they wish to not howl as well. So Naja, tell us what you are saying when you howl.
I howl and I say, "How dare you bring silver into this match?" And it has that like impending "you done fucked up" kind of echo to it, because that's how I speak. And I'm very mad at this individual who's cheating.
I love it. Whisper will throw in with like a backdrop of like dishonor, disgrace, like how dare.
I dig it.
Yeah. I beg you what, mate? echoes across the
Yeah.
veil.
So good. Yeah. Whispers, like almost like these like sort of like weedy long, like drawn out, like almost like yelps, like these punctuations to your howl along the line.
All right.
Jeez.
So I have a question. Are you folks trying to catch the scent of the third mountain hunter and trying to like engage them immediately? Or are you trying to be sneaky? Are you letting them face off against the bear and then like nipping at their flanks? What's the plan here?
I'm super direct. So unless someone convinces or says something otherwise, reckoning is just like, no, before anything happens, we need to take that person out because that's not right.
Ken, you're muted.
Were you gonna say something, Ken?
Yeah. Am I muted still?
Nope,
You're good.
we can hear you, but you're faint. So you're gonna have to do the
This
mic thing.
again,
There you
yeah.
go.
Okay. All right. A little bit of framing question. There was something we were going to, and we got some kind of benefit if we got there first.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think Rain sees Reckoning like getting her blood up kind of, and like going towards the direction of who I've named Weapon Dude, and and I think I kind of like nudge them like a different direction towards like back on the track of where we're going, kind of suggesting that let's get this first. And we don't actually talk, right, in wolf form.
Yes, you do. So even though what you're actually making are yips, growls, and other wolf noises, you are required by the rules to actually say what you're trying to communicate. So rather than just like describing your yips and growls, you can actually use English sentences like, perhaps we should do the important thing first, and that's fine.
Okay.
You can do both, but
Yeah.
you are required to do the second.
Yeah. So just kind of like, oh, maybe we should go this direction and see if we can, get the bonus first.
I agree. I feel like if we really wanted to hurt Silver, winning would be the best way.
Oh, all right. Cool. So you.
Do we have? Is that like a conflict we can roll, or do we?
It is, and actually, I was about to. I was actually thinking to myself whether we face the perilous, which is like the combat rolls, or if we want to bend the world to your will kind of thing, which is yeah, I think we're gonna have to face the perilous here. So face the perilous is usually used when you're in danger or jeopardy, and I'm gonna say that I think I've announced the danger pretty clearly. You've got some badass Bishonen looking assassin with a silver sword and a family of 3 angry star spattered bears. So like those are your potential threats hanging on the horizon. So when you face the perilous, let's see here. When danger has befallen the pack, Winter should ask them which amongst them is most vulnerable. So who do you believe in your pack is the most vulnerable as you folks run with all wolf haste to try and make the offering first?
I offer myself as the most vulnerable.
Why do you feel you are? And that's fine. I just want to establish some fiction.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit older, and which in normal human form isn't too much of a thing, but wolves I think feel the age a little bit more, and so I'm probably not quite as quick as the other 3. So for running to something, that's probably not my strong suit.
So I'm sorry to just arbitrarily pick this, but I feel like perhaps your mystic wolf may be the one to make the offering. So I'm gonna ask Kira, what are you offering to the lake and the spirit of the veil?
My left eye.
Oh,
Obvious.
Rad. Cool. So let's establish this. So you're gonna run up to the side of this lake, and you're actually gonna make it first as the others are gonna break out of the underbrush, and you're older wolf is lagging a bit behind. By the time you've already started the ritual, they're just catching up to the rest of the pack, which is when a black-haired, silver-wielding figure drops out of the trees. Naja, Andy, what are you doing while this is happening? Is one of you staying at your Mystic Wolf side, or are you intercepting this threat? What's the plan here?
I've been prowling the perimeter.
Of course you have.
Yeah, when this person jumps out of the trees, I'm just like, I was looking for you. Let's fucking go.
Andy, are you standing by for active bear duty, or are you joining Naja against this fierce opponent?
I am going to be covering our mystical wolves butt in the minute, and I both see Rek like making a good day for herself, and will intervene if I need to. But for the minute, that seems like what she wants to be doing.
Awesome.
And I will wait for the other deal with like the forthcoming bears.
So Rek, I'm gonna make you roll for this. You're going to face the perilous. Now I will point something out. You've got a strong sword arm, so this is done post-roll. You can add +3 blood to your blood die to sway the result one way or another. So we can look at the math either way. So do you remember how to right-click and roll the 2d6? We've declared that the orange die is the blood die and the purple die is the wolf die. So give them a spin for us if you would.
Let's go. Ugh.
Okay. So actually right now you're basically at a what's considered a 2 wolf, and you can go to a 1 blood. And I'll read you both results, and it's going to be your choice which of these you want. 2 wolf is you can choose one. You suffer harm and retreat to safety, or you are yet unharmed, but the peril has the better of you, perhaps making more of the pack vulnerable. So in other words, you're going to clash with Moonsilver boy there, and they're going to get the better of that engagement, potentially leveraging themselves into like a better position. The other option you have is a 1 blood is you may suffer harm and push on heedless of the danger.
It is very reckoning to take the blood result here.
That sounds good. There is bad news. So we're going to talk about harm. Harm for wolves is very, very rough. So when you suffer harm, you choose one of the following 3. 1, each scar is a lesson learned. Describe how your wolf is permanently marred and either gain 2 feral or lose 1 feral, minimum 0. Once you have suffered this harm, you may not suffer it again. 2, the toll of a careless life. Describe how your wolf has lost either an eye or a limb. Once you suffer this harm, you may not suffer it again. And the last one, and I hope you don't choose this one, is meat and bone. Describe how your wolf has suffered a fatal blow. So your pick. This is the harm, and you will not allow anyone else to be in jeopardy. It looked for a moment like this blow was gonna just fell you, and this person was gonna do one of the classic, with the sword out things. But no, you're gonna hang on.
I think I lose my right eye to the sword.
This is super cool.
Seems like at the outset, it seems as though it's unfortunate and random, but it's actually like part of the plan. But yeah, I totally like lose my right eye to the sword cut. And reckoning is like, now we can proceed with the alignment.
That's awesome. So I think that there is this like fierce slash, like where the 2 of you dance, and as this guy, this Moonsilver guy strikes you, he has a moment of confidence, a moment where he is open because he believes you to be felled and finished, and he shows you his back. Disrespect. And you have another chance to strike. So I'm gonna make you make the same roll one more time.
Okay.
But tell me how you do not allow him to continue into your pack and to slash them apart. You stop him, you hold the line, but what does that look like? Do you like catch his like ankle? Do you like leap on his back? Like what are you doing here?
I think he turns his back to me, and I'm laying on the ground, and I struggle up, like bleeding from one side, I shake my wolfy head, and then lower it and pounce on his back.
Cool. Do you want to give me? You want to give me one more roll? And Ken, your city wolf is nearby. I should really get used to calling you by your wolf names. Rain, you are nearby. Do you help your friend out, or are you too tired from the long run towards the lake?
Yeah, I think I was pretty tired at first, and when Rek was like attacking, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is according to plan. But then with the sword strike, I think specifically like a, I don't want to get too graphic, but a splatter of something comes and like lands on the necklace that dude had. He said they had like some teeth and things like that.
Yeah, it has teeth and claws of previous shapeshifters he's taken during the last alignment.
Yeah, that triggers like a fury in me, and I'm like, oh no, you're going down. And yeah, I just kind of like jump. Mother Wolf comes forward and like jumps on me.
Awesome. So Nacha, do you, go ahead.
Oh, I put the blood die on that.
All right. F yeah. So like you get the highest possible blood result, which is you get to choose 3 from the list below, which is the rest of the pack is not put in peril. You do not suffer harm. The peril is vanquished, and no one is separated or given Winter's Wrath.
I also have less than 2 feral, so I get that last option, question mark.
Okay, so I can teach you a harsh lesson and grant you one feral.
Okay.
You do. So from those, you get to pick 3, I believe.
Okay. The rest of the pack is not put in peril. The peril is vanquished.
Yeah.
And then of the remaining 3, I would like to choose that I don't suffer any further harm.
That's excellent. So I think, let me take a look here. I think I'm going to have to give someone's Winter's Wrath, in which case that's going to be Andy, and I'm about to manifest that wrath in a narrative sense. And I may have to teach you a harsh lesson and grant you 1 feral. And I think, yeah, let me. I think I'm gonna pass on that. I'm just actually gonna let that one fly for now. And I well, maybe not. Yeah, I think this is what it is. I think that you could potentially help with the situation. You could go and aid Andy and protect your pack further, but because you've given yourself over to your bloodlust, you've added the blood, you've gone absolutely like out there. I'm going to make something that Kira said before come a bit true, which is that the wolf in you starts taking hold and you start forgetting what it meant to be a person, right? And there is a beast inside you, and that beast and you, the lines start getting blurred. You're not entirely going to be yourself anymore. You're starting to lose the grip that is necessary to return fully to humanity, and that's the lesson. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rat.
Take 1 feral. You
take 1 feral.
Yay.
All right, so let's switch to the lakefront. Kira, you are making this offering, and there is blood in the water, and I think so I'm gonna describe a thing, and you're going to tell me what that does a little bit, right? I think what happens is as you're making this offering and you're in this horrible pain because you've basically given an eye to this lake, I think what's going to happen is like an actual star is going to ignite in the socket, and the same thing is going to be happening to Naja, by the way. So both of you are going to be gaining this, and when you look around, you actually can see inside some of these shapeshifters like constellations. Like you can read sort of like elements that they are touched by. So you tell me what that does for you. You're not fully in it. This is still a process that's happening, but tell us what you are learning about the world. Maybe there's a roll for this. Hang on. So there's a move called to behold the world. Can I ask you to make it?
Yeah, I'd love to. How do I roll dice again? Do I click on them?
You right click on them. It says multi-sided, and then you just click choose random side.
Okay.
So that's an even result, but you're a mystic wolf. You're good at this, so you can add blood to this if you want.
How do I do that?
So you just tell me that you want to, and you go
Okay.
from so when the dice are tied, it's a 0 result. There are no 0 results in the game, so you choose if you want 1 blood or 1 wolf. But then you can add 3 to the blood die, so you can actually go to like 3 blood. So you can, if you want, you can do that. Usually, the more drastic results are better. So if you like a 3 blood result will always be better than like a 1 blood result, like for you as a character. Like it's not better for the story per se, but yeah.
Yeah, I would like to do the most drastic thing.
All right, awesome. So you get to choose one of the questions from the list below, and
Okay.
I must answer it correctly for you. So the
Okay.
questions are as follows. What should I be afraid of? Who is vulnerable? What do they want from me? Where am I most advantaged? Who is in control here? And what is most valuable here?
Where am I most advantaged?
Cool. Let me think about that for a second. I think what's going to happen is we're going to talk about the danger manifesting and Andy having to handle the bears. And I think that the place that you're most advantaged is helping your pack from behind, right? So like wolves tend to fight as a unit, as a group.
Mhm.
And you are probably most advantaged striking when the opponent is least aware, because Andy's going to be in front of them tanking, so to speak, to use MMO terms. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, cool. Awesome. Andy, right before Kira gains her mystic insight and more wolfy nature and can see constellations and things, there are 3 powerful buyers. What would you like to do?
They were not invited, and
I'd make porridge.
What does that look like? Do you rush to the front to engage? Are you trying to trick? Like, what are you doing here?
I think that the first thing that Whisper does is very briefly throws up a howl of how dare you interrupt the ritual, and like throws shame at them, and then throws herself at whoever's on point, whoever's foolish enough to come forward, and to like Whisper. It might not be Whisper's first pick, but like to shame them and howl them, and then to like bring Fang and Claw to it is.
All right. Whisper going hot. So let's see here. So I think you're facing the perilous. It's you versus 3 bears. This is potentially just as deadly or even more deadly than facing a single badass anime protagonist. So if you would please roll some bones for me, and we'll interpret them. Ooh, a very good result. So this is now, unfortunately, I have a tiny bit of bad news for you, which is that you have feral, so we have to always add your feral rating to the wolf die. And we're going to do blood die, which is 5, minus your wolf die, which in this case is a 2, but it's going to become a 3 because we're adding the 1 feral to it. And so you're only going to get a 2 blood result.
I have 2 feral.
Oh, you have 2 feral. Well, that's not as good. 5 minus 4, so you only get 1 blood. And 1 blood is you may suffer harm and push on heedless of the danger.
Great.
Cool. So I think what it is you land this blow on this bear. It obviously doesn't down the bear,
right.
But
They're
one
much
of them.
Than I am.
Yeah. And actually, the bear that you throw yourself at, you get a pretty good bite on, but one of the other bears charges in from the side and smacks you away with powerful bear strength.
Yeah.
And you're going to be harmed. So we're going to go to that harm chart again, and you're going to pick one off the list. Each scar is a lesson learned. You can be permanently marred and either gain 2 feral or lose 1 feral, your choice. If you gain 2 feral, you're going to have 3 feral, so your wolf results are going to be real high.
That one.
Oh, okay. So tell me where the wound hits you. Like, do you suffer like a broken bone? Is there like a bear claw mark? How do you take this?
I think that that mighty side swipe that sends Whisper like sprawling like into the very edges of the lake and like into like a splashing mess leaves both like it's a big rending mark like across like their side and like their shoulder, and it in fact leaves like a permanent like their coat is forever changed, and like in fact there is a bear print, like there's this like this reminder of like someone having felled them in this moment.
Can I add one tiny detail?
Please do.
I think there is a bear print. I think that you are wounded. I think this is a lesson learned, but Kira's ritual is an effect.
Yes.
And I think that you get these I think much like the other wounds were like imbued with the glowing stars, you get one as well. So how do you feel like this is changing you? Does it lend you strength? Does it lend you cunning? Does it just like numb you to pain? What's the effect here, the gift that you were given?
I think the gift for Whisper is realizing like it's a detached version of cunning, like is not necessarily low cunning, but this idea of like everyone's like connected and like the inherent like wholeness of each individual, and that everyone is in fact connected, and like knowing like, oh, these bears like this family, and where are their weak points in these like constellations that are them.
That's super cool. So you can press on. What would you like to do? But your connection to your packmate Kira lets you know that this mystic wolf has completed their ritual, and they're moving into a different position, a position that perhaps the bears are not aware of.
Great. I think knowing that Whisper will do her damn well, she'll spring to her feet despite that like this rolling blow like on the shores of this lake, and we'll start like taunting and like making jibes at these feckless bears and like their slowness and their tiny eyes, and will in fact just like be this like reedy howling like teasing distraction to let my mystical witchy friend move and outflank them, and hopefully buy everyone time to help me because I cannot do this.
So witchy wolf, how did they attack the bears when they least expected? Give us the fiction here.
Sure. Well, I think the constellations are overwhelming for Patchouli. They are like filled with this strange closer understanding of all of the creatures around them that have these constellations, and they feel an extreme empathy that is heartbreaking. And they know like everything that's going on in the bear's feelings, and so they can sense where from behind them they are most afraid. and they creep up in that exact spot and let out like this terrifying growl to kind of distract their attention backwards, but too late because they're pouncing in the air to jump on them.
That's awesome.
Cool. Should I roll for that, or was that my previous roll?
So unfortunately, the way this works is whenever there is a pack situation where everyone is like pouncing and attacking, the person with the highest feral always rolls.
No, okay,
it's gonna be Andy. But we all participate in the fiction, right? Because this also determines the kind of harm that I can extend to you if Andy rolls poorly.
Gotcha. That's super cool.
The good news is that I have 3 feral.
Yeah, you do.
I would love any outcome that happens.
Lovely. You ready for me to go ahead and roll some dice then?
Yeah.
Naja, Ken, do we need to check in with y'all, or is this happening sort of while they're dealing with sword?
Yeah, I think they're Naja may or may not be devouring sword boy there.
I'm probably eating everything that's not silver. But as to what Rain is doing, I neither know nor care because I lost a lot of myself. So
a lot of sense. And I think once Rain sees the threat neutralized, I'm gonna leave Rec to what Rec's doing, and and go towards the bears. But I think that it's probably not there yet. I think all this is happening at the same time.
Hey, here's some d6s. Which color die does what?
So the wolf die is the purple die. That's the bad news. The good news is it's pretty separate. So even though we're gonna add 2 to the 2 to the wolf die, you still get a 3 blood result actually.
A 4. You add 3 to the wolf die.
Oh my bad.
Because I've got
so this maybe this doesn't end too well for the moment, which is you may suffer harm and push on heedless of the danger, right? So that's the total blood result. So I'm sorry, Andy, you're gonna have to suffer harm again, which is putting you pretty dangerously low there. But I think what's gonna happen is Kira's gonna take out one or two of the bears. I think definitely takes out one. Okay, so this is how it's going down. Kira takes out the smallest of the bears because it's probably a kid who's like a grown-up kid, like 20 something, but like the smallest of the three. And the one that's already wounded, the mother bear, whirls around to go and face Kira. And so that's happening there. And Andy, as you go to protect your packmate and distract, you're basically trying to tank two bears. And I think there's another moment where you are slashed, right? Like you were hit again because clearly you have not learned your lessons enough. So you have two choices remaining since you already took the scars and the feral one.
Yes.
The toll of a careless life and meat and bone. So you can pass and describe a fatal blow, or you can describe how you lose either an eye or a limb.
We're really into losing eyes.
Everybody having one star eye is pretty rad. I'm just saying.
I think. Go ahead, Ken.
I was gonna say I'm gonna poke my own out, but go for it.
Well, there's time yet. Don't you worry. I think that that this blow rends one of Whisper's eyes. Oh gosh, there's so much significance, and they lose their left eye.
All right, cool. So Ken, I think finally there's three of you who are facing the last bear, and you've sort of encircled it. All of you are somewhat wounded, and this thing is somewhat wounded, and it's trying to fend all of you off. So let's establish a little bit of fiction. Are you folks continuing to fight? Are you breaking off because you made your offering and you got your gifts? Are you going to clash again? Risk it all on one last roll? What does this look like?
Right. So I think like all our blood's up and I'm ready to fight, right? But the human kind of takes over a little bit because we kind of get both elements there. And as I'm ready to strike, like I kind of stop for a second and I kind of see like the desperate situation this bear is in. And I know like and I just kind of stop and I kind of make like I lean my my body forward, kind of down with my head on the ground. I just kind of stop to see what they're gonna do, kind of giving them a chance to surrender, which I know isn't exactly what we're all looking for, but I think like kind of the sense of empathy and my human nature is kind of feeling it like I'm gonna give you a chance because make like a soft growl, not like a threatening one, but like a trying to suggest like what's coming, but giving them a chance to react.
There is a role for this, but I should warn you, it's probably, well, we'll see. So when you try and do a very non-wolf thing, which is what this is, which is you're trying to negotiate with a bear. There is a move called to bend the world to your will, or to say to hunger. It depends really on which result you get. You can try and make a roll on that. It's the same roll as everything else, and because you're a city wolf, you might actually be able to apply your blood to this, because you're appealing to like sort of the human inside the bear rather than just like the bear itself, right? So do you want to roll some dice and we'll interpret the results here?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I choose random side.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so usually this would be a one wolf result, but you can add blood to it. You can add up to +3 blood to it, and you can make it a 2 blood result, which is choosing, like there's a list on page 17 A one wolf result is Winter should describe how the path before you is fraught with peril, and you describe yourself retreating to safety. The two blood result is there's like a list. You can modify your environment. No one is in peril. You do not earn Winter's Wrath. You seize upon your advantage and turn it into success, or you may lose one peril, minimum 0. But since you have no peril, you can't choose that.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will use my power, which I think makes sense because I'm appealing to the human nature of, and that's why that triggers, as I remember it. So that would put me up to 2 blood, and I get to choose one from the list below, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The rest of the pack is not put in peril, is my goal here.
Well, no one is in peril is an option. But if I may suggest, you seize upon your advantage and turn it into success may also be an option because they can be distracted and you can give them a chance to run away. So we could say that they run away, or they can be distracted and try to run away and then everybody murders them. It's up to you folks, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That sounds great.
Cool. So I don't think that there's any special peril that I will put you in because your goal was to make the singular remaining threat go away. However, there's a narrative point where there's this thing called Winter's Wrath. It's a status. It's like on or off. And basically what it means is the GM now gets to pick on you and put you in trouble. So you have earned Winter's Wrath. By succeeding at this, I'm like, oh, you done me wrong as the GM, so now I can pick on you. So I'm gonna give you Winter's Wrath, which is just it's a flag, it's a narrative flag. It's not a physical object. I think that is probably it. I don't think I'm gonna do any harm to anyone because I don't have to. But I feel like if this threat is being neutralized, it is unfair of me to simply like randomly wound someone. So let me ask what this ends as. I think what does the pack do here? Do you folks end this bear, or do you do you let it go?
This bear's going down.
I vote in the bear.
Okay, so what is that? Tell me what that looks like. Do you folks like all pile on it? Do you let it get a little head start? Like,
Can I suggest something? Okay. I was thinking I was giving it like a chance to get away, and I kind of being like a little bit submissive to suggest that, and then Bear came up and like instead of taking advantage of that opportunity to not die, came up and whacked me in the side of the head instead, and I lost. I want to take the harm.
There's no harm necessary. I mean, if you folks, it's outnumbered, its allies are gone, and you chose to have it leave. You don't. There's no harm on the table. I mean, if you really want to take harm, we can talk about it.
I absolutely do, because I want to lose the opposite eye that Andy lost.
Okay.
Yes.
Have star eye.
Yes, I absolutely do.
One-eyed pack.
So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. I am okay with that. I am totally okay with that. Rad. So I assume you take a scar, or no, wait. You are marked. This is the toll of a careless life. You have lost an eye.
Yeah, the lost an eye option.
All right, cool. So yeah, you're marked. You've lost an eye. You're gonna get your little star eye, and that opens the bear for everyone else to do whatever they want. So just Andy and Kira, please go ahead and describe how you end this bear, and then we'll just kind of pull the story back together and sort of jump ahead.
Great. Kira, is this a thing where Whisper and Patchouli sort of like fall on this bear sort of in tandem? Is that a thing that like from their very, like, I don't know if Patchouli was behind the bear. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I feel conflicted about ending the bear as a person.
Okay.
But
sure.
So I'm not sure what that looks like. I'll probably just follow your wolf's lead.
Cool. Whisper again furiously like leaps to their feet after this second blow, and gives an appraising pause as Rain like does something human. And there's hardly a beat before that bear lands a blow on Rain. and Whisper has fallen upon the bear. Arguably, Whisper actually just couldn't outpace the bear before the bear hit Rain. But we don't need to tell Rain that.
So you fall on the bear. I think that Patchouli has more of a moment's pause and isn't lost in a wrathful fury, and watches as you're like tearing into this bear, and like one very sharp claw like comes out, and like they like slice the bear's throat to end its suffering.
Lovely. So good.
Super cool. So I think we have a quick beat as this is done. What do you folks do victorious with your like gifts? Do you howl? Do you clean each other? Do you immediately leap forward into action? What's the plan here?
Well, the first order is bragging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, obviously.
So Whisper will start with that like long, sort of reedy, frozen howl about how the bears have been felled, and you're next. How dare!
So the only person that has feral and has to roll to resist howling is Nadja. So Nadja, if you want to join the howl, there's no roll. But if you want to resist the howl, you let me know. The other two, you may join or not, as you will.
Howl.
I howl and I say something that makes no sense to anybody that's not there. I'm like, I see your constellation. Like the rest of the veil is like, what?
There is one that is not, and we'll jump right to that here in a second. So Ken, Kira, do you wish to howl? So go ahead.
Yeah, all will tremble before our starry victory, or something like that.
Sounds good. Ken, what's your message?
It is as it should be. That's all. Nothing too dramatic, but just the way it.
Nice.
All right, so super cool. Let's just do a quick montage. I'm going to ask everyone to describe one thing that you are going to do throughout the night, and then we're going to just kind of jump to like a final confrontation. So if you are prowling alleyways and/or villages, if you're fighting another marked beast or whatever, just go ahead and describe something. So let's have this like quick montage, and I'm going to go in initial order. So Nadja, you're going to be up first. Tell us one cool thing that your character does during this alignment between now and the end of it.
I think you see Reckoning in the pool in the center of the veil, and she's just kind of watching off the blood and frolicking and being like, I see stars. And I don't know what that means, but it's great. And just having a grand time in this water.
Super cool. Kira, you're next. What is one cool thing that you do?
Yeah, Patchouli is in the water too, but taking a more solemn approach, kind of lays back and sinks down beneath the waves, and just looks upward at the stars.
That's wonderful. Andy?
Ooh, Whisper kind of roves the shore and comes in and out of the water sort of slowly, both like not necessarily pain, but like moving in as a constellation, and spends time like really taking in her pack, who are like so new to her in this way, and spends time like approaching everybody and just sort of like nose to nose, like stopping for a minute and like, I see you.
I am really sad because there are two really cool roles we could make here, one of which is the pack playing together, and one of which is like perceiving the world, which I feel both Kira and Andy are doing here very strongly. So if we want to, we can do that, but we should keep it quick because I want to kind of I know we're a little thin on time, and I want to make sure to sort of like jump to the final chapter here. But actually, would you, Kira, Andy, would you both be willing to just throw some dice, and we'll ask some questions very quickly, and bring that in a little bit just to demonstrate the rules, if nothing else.
Here we go.
Cool. So Kira, you threw the dice and you get a 3 wolf, it looks like. And I will tell you that perceiving the world with that result is You can choose 2 questions from the list, and I must answer both. What do my eyes tell me? What do my ears tell me? What does my nose tell me? And what do my instincts tell me?
What do my eyes tell me, and what do my instincts tell me?
Oh, that's fascinating. I think your eyes tell you that the stars that all of you bear are part of a larger constellation. So you are not like that. You're seeing in this like kind of quasi mystical vision.
Yes.
But you realize that each piece that you're bearing is part of something bigger. Which is something that you've all said, but I think that you actually start seeing the connections. You start seeing the silver threads between them, sort of the way that humans actually like outline the constellations. Before this, we were just seeing the shape, but now you're actually starting to see like kind of like an image around it, almost like it's making a picture. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And going with your instincts, I'm going to tell you that Naja having devoured pieces of people, and Andy perhaps having bit off a chunk or two,
Yeah, no big deal.
they're actually starting to gain stars, and you are beginning to understand that the alignment is about putting a constellation together, maybe.
Cool.
So that's a thing. Andy, would you like to do the same?
I would, and dearly.
All right. Hang on. I have like 3 windows I have to jump between.
Right.
Cool. So you have 3 feral,
I do.
which is going to make it 6 to 4. So 2 wolf.
Okay.
And 2 wolf is choose 2 questions from the list below, and Winter must answer them both. And I just added 3 to your wolf die and then subtracted the blood die from it.
Cool. Awesome.
So same thing. You get 2 picks, and it's eyes, ears, nose, instincts.
I want to know what my nose and my instincts are telling me.
Cool. I think I'm going to give you a very mundane nose answer, if that's
Great.
okay.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think your nose actually tells you a lot about sort of like the quality of the world. Like you can tell that dawn is approaching because the air has cooled enough that there is dew on a lot of places, and you can actually smell the steam coming off of the surface of the lake because the lake has stayed warmer than the surrounding air.
Yeah.
So it's like your nose is a time check. So you know how much time you have to till the alignment is complete. And did you ask instincts as for your second?
I did.
Cool. So I'm gonna harken back to something Kira said at the beginning, which is that there is a darkness with stars in it somewhere. You feel like you folks have a constellation. You have like the majority of the constellations, but there's somebody else that has gotten a lot of the alignment out of this kind of thing too.
Okay.
And that's your instincts tell you that there is like a pull between the stars, almost like they want to connect you to sort of like finish the process.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great.
All right, cool.
I need to know what Rena's doing.
I was about to ask Ken, do you want to tell us one cool thing that Rain is doing before dawn breaks here?
Yeah, it won't take long at all. As my pack mates leave the pool, which I imagine they don't stay in there all night. I'm going to groom them because there's a grooming thing, and I want to do that.
Cool.
Bonding.
Cool. So who all participates in the grooming? All right. If everyone's grooming each other, I believe there's a rule. It's an important part of pack health and communication. But when you groom with a wolf that has more feral than you, which is Andy has more feral than everyone, you may choose to gain 1 feral. So everybody that wants 1 feral, you get it. All right. This is apparently everyone wants feral. So now not just at 3 feral, Andy's at 3 feral, everyone else is at 1. And more importantly, it takes Winter's Wrath off of you. So that's the thing it does.
And
cool.
I want to add one thing to the narrative.
Go ahead.
It was very cozy.
All right. So let's Oh, I see. It's a Cozy Den reference. My bad. It took me a second. All right, so let's leap forward real quick. And let's just keep this brief and punchy. I think that there is a obviously Kira had a vision about this, so I can't say no. I actually wrote a little note here. It says Star Panther. So there is a giant scary thing. You realize that this is the same beast that won the last alignment. And it's a oh no, we established that ninja fellow won the last alignment. So we'll say that this is a monster, and it has been devouring everyone's stars. So it's a beast of great darkness with constellations that vaguely outline its shape, which dim as it fades in and out of the shadows to attack you. So that's the final boss of the fight. So this is I don't know, the Ninth Mountain champion has taken out everything that you have not taken out, has eaten at least one or two villagers worth of people that needed to run out in the evening and have been hunted down correspondingly. And this thing is ferocious and powerful, and is the last thing you need to face in your constellation quest here. So what does that look like? What are you folks doing? Let me paint a little bit of a scene. I think this is actually probably high up. It's near dawn. It's close to the cave where your folks are going to shapeshift back. What does your confrontation with this thing look like?
I'm totally standing dead center, growling.
Awesome.
Yeah, like I'm pulling aggro. Like, fuck you. This is our fight.
Awesome. What is everyone else doing?
I know that Whisper is using like what I imagine is sort of like rocky and little tiny snaggly trees, like an alpine like tree line for like cover, and is like playing like the flanking game.
Your coat blends into that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Ken, what is Rain doing?
Yeah, Rain stands with Reckoning and kind of shoulder to shoulder, growl like what's going on.
Cool. And Patchouli, what is your role in this final confrontation?
Patchouli weirdly sits like cross-legged or something, like a human, and closes their eyes. Well, closes one eye with the glowing eyes wide open, staring into the darkness.
Awesome. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna give this a just like a beat. I think Patchouli, you see the panther leaping because you don't look at the panther, you look at the constellations inside its belly, and you give everyone a heads up. And there's a ferocious moment as Rec and Rain engage with it head on, and Whisper comes loping out of the hidden spaces. And so let's see if we can wrap this up. Andy, you're gonna get to roll another confrontation. So if you would throw some bones for us, and we'll interpret them.
Nadja, do you want to roll this time since you have now just achieved, and you're also like face on? Can I?
Yeah, let's have Nadja toss them. Ooh, so Nadja.
Let's tie.
And well, no, it's a 4-3, right? Because like the 4 is the blood, and you have 2 feral, so it would be a 4 and a 3 result.
Right, and then I want to add my blood.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. My bad.
This is vengeance.
I want to check in all y'all, because Nadja, you now have 3 feral. Yes.
2, I believe.
I got 1 from fighting, I think. And 1 from Andy.
And then 1
Oh, did you take a wound?
I lost an eye, but I didn't.
So would that add +2 to it?
I think.
Oh no! It's just the mark. It's you didn't.
Yeah, I took the mark, not the wound.
Yeah, so not just actually at 2 feral, which theoretically, Andy, you would be highest at feral, but we're saying that in this role you are not quite engaged yet. So we'll let Nadja take it away.
Okay.
So Nadja,
I understand.
Your high blood result. Let's interpret that real quick. So it's what, blood 3 or blood 4? I'm back me up here.
I'm adding 3 blood, but I don't think I can get above 6.
I don't
remember the rule.
I don't remember the rule either, and actually I think the rule was clarified in the new edition, so I don't think I have the rule. So we're just gonna run it with simple math. I'm gonna say that it's 7 minus 3, and you're gonna get a 4 blood. Is that cool?
That works for me.
Sounds good. And then let's interpret this. So 4 blood means you choose 3 from the list below. The rest of the pack is not put in peril. You do not suffer harm. The peril is vanquished, and no one is separated or given Winter's Wrath.
I will, because okay, the rest of the pack is definitely not put in peril, and I definitely don't suffer harm.
Sounds good.
I want to say the peril is vanquished, but I also want to see how everyone, because we are a constellation,
we can do it narratively. That's the great thing about this game is when you get a success like that, we can all just be like, all right, so how is your constellation part of this? And we can just go in a circle.
Yeah, so I will take the peril is vanquished with that.
Cool. So no, someone is separated and or given Winter's Wrath. I get to decide that, but let's talk about this. What does this vanquishing looks like? So Nadja, clearly you're the aggro part of the vanquishing. Would you like to kick us off and start that, and then we'll bring everyone in?
Yeah, I serve as the tip of the sphere, but I think I am doing the work of everyone else, and it's communicated through some celestial fuckery that I don't understand because I don't have those faculties anymore. But I enact whatever is passed to me.
Cool. Rain, you are fighting shoulder to shoulder with Reckoning. What is your addition to this final battle?
Yeah, I think during the battle, there's some back and forth that goes on, and I definitely see me playing like a support role, but actively in the battle. So taking hits if that's what needs to happen, but obviously not causing harm, but getting in the way of things like nipping at ankles or that type of thing, like in and out. While Reckoning is the tip of the spear, I'm the base of the spear.
All right. So Kira, you are the one perceiving with your star eye wide open. How do you help your pack vanquish this Star Panther?
Well, I think that my eye glows bright and shines a light on the actual shadow, so that everyone can see where it is and it can't sneak around in the darkness.
That's pretty rad. And Andy, last but not least, you're coming out of stealth and striking a decisive blow. What does that look like?
It comes out of like the rock and lichen and these tiny stunted trees, and throws herself at this way over large beast that we're all tangling with, and critically like crushes a paw that would have landed a fatal blow, and bowls it over in the process of forestalling someone's death.
Cool. So the alignment is complete. Your pack, though marked, stands victorious, blessed by the veil and having all sorts of stars inside you. There is one last thing that we do at the end of every wolf spell, which is we check to see if you can turn back into a person, because that's not guaranteed. So let's all do that together, and then we'll wrap it up. So let me go back to my initial setting here. The one that we chose was Rivals. Yes. We chose Rivals. So roll at Morning's Light, which is what we're about to do, and add +1 to your blood die for each enemy of your clan that you have personally slain this night. Damn. So I think that Nadja gets 2, right?
2, and then my blood die because gore and vengeance.
That is true. Vengeance definitely comes into play. And did you want to toss for us first here? I heard a blip. I didn't.
It looks like
know.
Someone rolled.
That was me. So, sorry, I preempted rolled.
It's okay. Let's jump to Kira. Kira, you personally, did you strike any death blows this evening?
Yeah, I killed the bear.
You killed a bear, so you can add +1 to your blood die. Now, unfortunately, you rolled massive wolf, and you have a feral +1, so that massive wolf die is a 7 versus a 2. So you have a 5 wolf result.
Cool.
And that means you're probably not becoming a person.
That's okay.
So it's you are going to remain wolf of mind and form forevermore. You cannot change back. You're going to be a starry-eyed wolf forever. My question for you is: do you live in the cave, or do you look back to your people and live amongst them as a wolf?
I think that after this experience, Patchouli is too far gone and now lives in the cave and looks down upon their people and protects them from the darkness that lurks in the wild.
You're a guardian. That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Naja, do you want to throw some bones and add some blood?
Yes, I'm rolling at a +5 blood.
Of course you are. Boop, which is good for you.
Fortunate.
Very fortunate. So if I recall, you have 2 feral, right? So that would make it a feral 5, but +5 blood. 3, 4, 5 plus another 3. So you're 3 blood. Which is blood over 2 is you return to your human form in waking life, but run with your pack in your dreams. So, Kira, when you protect the village, you may have a dream wolf with you.
Love.
Yeah. Naja, I have a question for you. How much of your wolf form do you retain when you change? Is there anything that comes with you, or do you completely shake it? Do you still have one eye? Is one of the things that I'm asking.
I do have one eye. Well, no, actually, in my human form, I have 2 eyes, but one of them glows like my wolf eye. And then when I become a dream wolf, I just have the one regular wolf eye and then a celestial something happening on the other side. And when I'm in my dream form, I lose that sense of self again, and I don't think I remember it when I wake up.
All right.
Because Patchouli's there to make me do things that are helpful.
Ken, do you want to toss some bones for us? How many things have you killed? Enemies of your people, so to speak.
I don't think I actually killed anybody. I think everybody else took care of that. So.
All right. But you are human and most comfortable in the alleyways of humanity. So if you want to add +3 blood after this roll, you can. Do you want to throw some bones for us? All right. So you've got +1. So at this point, you are at 1 blood without any further modifications. Do you want to stay at 1 blood, or do you want to add your human call to it?
Yeah, let's add it. I think she wants to go back to humanity. That's comfortable. So.
Yeah. Cool. So the only question that I have for you is, how are you changed/marked by your experience? Do you also have one eye that glitters when you look in moonlight?
Oh yeah, heck yeah, I do. I have that one starry eye, and I think I bring a sense of a stronger sense of community back, and kind of become like a community leader later on.
All right, cool. And last but not least, Andy, our 3 feral wolf. I think you have 2 kills under your belt. Do you wanna toss the bones and let's see if you can change back? Ooh, dead even. But that adds a heck of a lot of feral. So I think you're at actually 1 wolf.
So yeah, because I've got 3 feral, and then I killed at least a bear.
Right.
If not a second bear, depending on how we do that narratively. And then depends on who we think killed our Starry Panther friend, which was all of us. So however that math works.
It's fine. It's if you want it, if you don't want it, it's okay. You decide.
I don't know what the options are.
So one of them will make you a very sad wolf, and the other one will make you a pure wolf. Your choice.
The sad wolf is the wolf that wishes that they could.
That they could be a human. Yeah.
No, I don't want that one.
All right, true wolf it is, and I'm gonna respect that wish. I think the stone and the moons do as well, which is you remain a wolf who will howl each moon to recall a time when they were not so. So I think you're a real wolf most of the time, but when you're running with your pack in the dreams, when the dream wolf state is happening, you remember what it means to be not quite fully a wolf. Is that cool?
Love it.
All right, awesome, and that's Wolfspell. Yay!
Freak it out.
All right, so Wait for it. We end on a howl. Let's just do a quick outro. So we're just gonna just go around one more time. Say your name, your pronouns, where we can find you on the internet, and then we'll end on a howl. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna do the same order as initial, I think. Nadja, take us away.
Hi, it's me, Nadja Otikor, aka Trista Ray. My pronouns are she, her. These days, mostly I play on Actual Play and shitpost on Twitter, which you can find at Trist_CHI. I've been doing a February tweet thread about being Black in February, and as all people know, February is the shortest month of the year. Coincidence? Not likely. But that will end soon. I think that's it. Oh, and I will be posting my plot armor playthrough soonish. I have to like make the words make some sense to people that aren't me. Ken, how about you? You're muted.
Friend.
I sure am. No, I'm not. Hello. I'm Ken Davidson at KDavidson925 on the Twitters. Pretty soon I'll be playing Aegon on here with Sean there, Banana Chan, my rival, and Jen Martin. And I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm also going to be organizing a game of A Cozy Den, ran on my channel, Davidson925. And that will have Darcy Ross, Amelia Antrim, and Ash Cheshire. Excited about all this. And I'm passing it to Andy?
To Kira.
Kira.
To me.
Yes, that's what I'm passing it to.
Hi, I'm Kira. My pronouns are she, they, and you can find me on Twitter at Kira Nancy. And I'm doing too many things to talk about, so you can see them when I post them on Twitter. It's the best place to follow me.
Or YouTube. You have a cool YouTube series.
I do have a cool YouTube series where I talk, ostensibly, it's a vlog where I talk about my game design thoughts in general, like game community ideas and things as they come to me and my experiences, and sometimes my conventions I will film as well. So check that out. You can find links on my Twitter. Thank you, Strash. And Andy?
Hello, I've been Andy. My pronouns are she and they. You can come hang out on me with me on Twitter at Fictional Mammal. Pictures of dogs are good. Sincerity's pretty good. Yeah, those two things are pretty darn great. Yeah, I'll see you on Twitter. Strash, what do you got?
Hey, I'm Strash. He, him. You can find me on Twitter at StrashA. This has been Wolfspell. This is actually the last Wolfspell that we're gonna have on Actual Play. At least for right now. It may happen again. Somebody gets a bug. So I'm looking forward to getting that, and I am delighted to have gotten a chance to winter for these lovely people. So if all of you will indulge me, it is tradition in our little Wolfspell run to end on a howl. So I'm just gonna count us down, 3, 2, 1, and then let's all howl. So feel free to Aru over there in the chat, and hopefully everybody has a lovely day. So 3, 2, 1. Ow!